Right, let's get the show on the road. Hi, guys. Nice emote spam. I like it. 3 seconds lag. Wow. Okay, that's interesting because my internet's been playing up tonight. And my camera's frozen. Okay. God damn it. There we go. Strange. Okay, who've we got here tonight? It's too much spam. Mr. G, Andy Magic Knight, Amok, Prince Phase, Steps, Pro 7, Furroy, trying to make sure I don't miss anyone. Retrofather, welcome to the stream. Backmuffin. There we go. Cool. Thanks for the host, guys. We've got 3 hosts. Wow. Andy Magic Knight, Pro 7, Coconut. Welcome to the stream, Coconut. Oh, and thank you for the follow, MVG Zappy as well. Welcome, guys. So I'm going to finish. I actually didn't finish the bottle of wine, surprisingly. I was drinking cider most of yesterday. So I'm going to crack that open tonight. Finish that off tonight. It's the only booze I've got. Well, actually, no, I've got tequila, but I'm not going to drink tequila. Might drink that at the weekend. So tonight we're going to take a look at the bullet routines. Actually, before I start, I'm going to quickly show you. I've been doing some stuff on the map editor. I've noticed a couple of bugs in the game that occur in certain scenarios. So I'll quickly show you one of the bugs. So if I create a map and I create this platform this high, I'll stick my players in some pipes. So the switch is being drawn there just because I've not implemented the switch stuff, so it's just using the old data. But the problem I've got at the moment is if I jump here, I get stuck in the background here. So that's one thing I'm going to have to fix. You can jump up through these, so you should be able to fall as well. So I need to fix that. So I'm going to try and get it all done by Saturday. But the principle of the editor is working. You can launch the game straight from there. So the bot has not telling you a joke for some reason. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, I'm going to try and get this fixed. There's a few little things I've noticed. I may fix those on stream on Saturday using the editor. There's a few other things I need to add to it. I need to add the enemy panel in here. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, you choose where the players start as well. So you pick the enemy. You pick the list of enemies that get spawned. You pick where the 5 pipes go. You pick where the door will spawn. You pick where the switch will spawn. At the moment, it's just allowing any old level to be tested. There'll be verifications where where the players start. Verifications where the pipes are, so you can't actually test a level until it passes all the tests. Yeah, why did the joke not open? Let me see if I can request a joke. Let me refresh the overlay. Maybe there's something wrong with the overlay. But yeah, that'll be ready on. I'm here to encourage you to keep on streaming. You're doing great. Thanks, Twitch encouragement. Oh, Amok, your video was amazing. I really made my day watching that. So thank you for that. Let's try the joke again. There we go. I ended up drinking. Yeah, you'll have to send me the name of that wine as well, because I want to try that. I've never heard of that one before. So, oh my god, that's a terrible joke. Buzet. Okay, I'll have to give that a try at some point. Don't know how easy that will be to get here. Right, let's get going. Let's get cracking on this. Let me start the races, and let's get going. Okay. So I want to do the player bullet routine tonight, or at least the start of it anyway. I've still not looked at all the weapons. I need to have another playthrough. I might have a playthrough later after the stream and see if I can open them all. Chat is broken now. Why is chat broken? Chat looks fine to me. Why is chat broken? Oh yeah, chat in the stream. Okay. Let me. Can I change it in here? Hopefully that goes through. Yeah, there you go. It's been a bit funny tonight, actually. Twitch. It's been a little bit strange. So, okay, let me add points to everybody that's here. I do need a better graphics card. I've already planned. I'm definitely going to get the 3090. But what I'm going to do, instead of just jumping straight in and buying the Founders Edition, I'm going to wait for the partner cards to come out and get whichever one is deemed to be the best and the most overclockable. Because if I'm going from 2 cards down to 1, my machine has got the power to seriously overclock things. The board is set up for overclocking. And it would be a single card on water cooling, so I should be able to get quite a lot of extra oomph out of it. So I'm going to wait to see what the best partner card is and make sure I can get a decent block for it. I kind of fancy an interesting water block for it, so I'm going to go for something a little bit different there, I think. Right, let me set my windows up in here a little bit. Two columns, my constants, and 0 page, and my tables open. Macros I don't really need. Let's get the game loader open. There we go. Can we have bigger text, please? Yep, sorry, I've been doing some stuff, so I've had it a bit smaller. There we go. How's that? Why does the chicken soup have two? She says 2 hands and he likes chicken. What's what's tempted not to bet at all so I don't lose? Yeah. Anyway, welcome along, guys. Yeah, let's get this going. So we're going to create a new file. This player section here is becoming a bit large. I may spread this out a little bit. For now, it doesn't really matter because they're all imported in the same place anyway. So I can just keep putting stuff in here, and then eventually I can split them out into various areas. I'm going to try and keep the files as small as possible. So I'm going to just call this bullets. I'm going to load that in here. So I've been thinking a little bit about how to do the screen flip routine, and I've got a sneaky way to do it. that's basically going to allow me to have any number of characters as long as one screen is no more than about 200 or so, and yet still be able to slide another screen. So say you've got two screens side by side. This screen has 200 unique characters in it. This screen also has 200 unique characters in it. But I should be able to slide one screen on to replace the other, because as this screen is sliding on, the characters on this side can be replaced by characters. So as I delete a column here and I add a column of the new map in here, I should be able to draw as we go along. So that's my plan anyway. How practical that's going to be, I don't know, but we shall see. But for now, we're just going to do the bullet routine. So what do we want from the bullet routine? Okay, so let's get our game loop open as well, because we're going to need that. So this is our game loop currently. And we have in here clear particles and draw particles. This is a exhaust update for the player. So none of this actually needs to, this is all non-IRQ code, but it's timed so that this will trigger at the bottom of the screen. Update particles. I'm not sure whether this needs to be here or it needs to be here. In fact, let's just move it there and see if everything looks the same as before. So let's just not Control B, still in Game Boy mode. Load file. There we go. F8. F8, please. There we go. Oh, that's bright. Yeah, everything looks fine here. So I just need to check that going up to the top of the screen doesn't cause extra flickering. Going down to the bottom. Not that you'll ever be able to go that far up. You'll get to here at most. The bottom you'll get down to about here. But yeah, this looks fine. Okay, cool. Okay, so what do we need? First thing we're going to need is we're going to need to know if we're shooting and in what direction. Actually, no, let's not do that first. Let's actually draw this. Let's draw the soft sprite routine, and then we can add the control in later. How much will this game cost when it's finished? I have no idea. That's entirely up to Thalamus. I'm guessing it will be similar price to what Hunter's Moon was, whatever price that was at, because it will be a cartridge game. Yeah, so I imagine it's going to be the same as Hunter's Moon or thereabouts. I know Hunter's Moon was a Kickstarter, but I do need to think about Kickstarter as well, because I was thinking about this a little bit more about the Game Boy game, and I definitely want to do the Game Boy game via Kickstarter. So if anybody does have any experience with that, please let me know, because it'd be handy for me to kind of get some insight on what I need to do. Okay, let's create an init function in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have an initialize function. This is just going to set up our sprites. At the moment, it's not going to do anything, but it's likely this will reset an array that we're going to set up. I need to make sure I call that in here somewhere. I'm going to call it straight after the player, because that kind of makes sense. It's part of the player's routine, so do it there. Yeah, rewards you. This is the thing as well. I don't want to fall into the trap of like promising T-shirts and things like that, and then finding out that actually the cost of getting the T-shirts costs more than the extra reward was. So it's I definitely need somebody who's got experience of doing a Kickstarter to give me some ideas about how to price things, kind of what kind of tiers there should be, timelines, things like that. So. But a Dot Cosmos T-shirt would be cool, right? Yeah, I mean that's one of the things I'm trying to do amok for definite is to make sure that I don't do what so many Kickstarters do or Indiegogo or whatever, and end up promising something that's nowhere near ready or even started. I want to make sure that the game is pretty much complete, minus testing and stuff, but leave it open for adding extra kind of extra screens or something, so we could maybe expand the game if as one of the kicks, one of the things. 50k and I'll put a .cosmo tattoo on my forehead for a lifetime of advertising. Yeah, Zappy, I need to chat to you about it because it's you put the kind of idea in my head. So I want to kind of get you involved in it if possible, because I want to do it under Bitmap Soft. So um, you know, I've said from the beginning, this if I release this will be a Bitmap Soft title. So so I'll have to have a chat with you sometime off stream and figure it out. But yeah, I would definitely like to look at it in more detail. Oh, that was a close race. So one thing I could do, hang on. So one thing I could definitely do, and in fact, I might include this in the next giveaway as well, because I got two of these printed. They're not the best, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure I can work out some better ones. So I did these when I got on the cover of Freeze. I got some lenticular versions printed up, which are kind of nice because you can flick between the two timelines by tilting. So I was thinking something like that would be a nice kind of addition, not too expensive to add. So uh, I may give one of those away actually with the next giveaway, because I do have two. Um, yeah, I think we can. I think we can do something. I'll talk to you about it, Zappy, because I definitely want your expertise with kind of sourcing stuff. So where did I get those made? I just found somewhere on eBay that did it based on some print. You send in an image, and I got Vinny to send me the prints, and send me the high res images, cover images, and just did that. But can you imagine like cup coasters or something like that? It'd be really cool. The other thing I thought of as well is imagine a mug. You know, the mugs that have got the heat print on them. So when they get hot, they show one image, and when they cool down, they show something different. I was thinking something like that with the two timelines on as well would be kind of nice, or key rings and stuff. So there's plenty of ideas out there that I just need to kind of just need to think and get it together a little bit. Okay, so bullets, right? So this is an 8-way shooter. So the bullets are going to move in one of eight directions. So wine glasses with a Shannon logo. Yeah, I really like the idea of the mug, but I struggle to find somewhere that could do it with two images. They can make an image appear, but they can't make two different images appear. You either have an image that's already there and then new images that appear on top. Um, but I'm sure it can be done. I'm sure it can be done. Okay, so we need some data. So I'm going to actually create a structure called data here, so we don't get lost when we're referencing things. And we're going to need a few things for this. So first of all, we need to have a maximum number of bullets. It's always good to kind of define a maximum, just because firstly, it makes filling in the data list nice and simple. And secondly, it means that you can use a kind of ring buffer to do these things. So if you keep an index of where your next bullet is in the array, and then you just check when you get to max bullets, and if you do, then you go back to the beginning and create, and use them. But usually you can set a max bullet amount, so I'm going to go for 16. That indicates kind of where you stand with the a max that kind of fits the width of the screen and the rate that you fire as well. I think 16 is probably enough. We can adjust this because obviously the higher this number is, the more performant it's going to need to be. So obviously this can be adjustable. This is something that isn't going to adjust in the game. So unlike the multiplexer, which I can adjust on a per screen basis, and the particles, which I can adjust on a per screen basis, the maximum number of bullets is never going to change. So whatever we set is going to be hard coded, and it's going to stay that forever. So we're going to need a maximum here, and we're going to need next, which is going to just be our index into. Let's do this all on. Let's make this look neat. Let's make this look a little bit JavaScripty. So this is just our next index. In fact, I'll call it next index, and it's a little bit easier. So this is when we go to add a particle. So we add a bullet, which we'll have here. We take this as the next index that we're going to draw the bullet into, and then we just need the data for it. So we're going to need an X and a Y position. Now, I found through doing the particles that the easiest way to do this is not to store an X and a Y, but to store a screen address. The reason for that is because when you add a particle, calculating the screen address only has to happen once. If you just store X and Y, then every time you update a particle, you need to recalculate the screen address. The disadvantages of this are when the particles or the bullets reach the edge of the screen, they need to know that they're at the edge of the screen, which is easy to do with the top and the bottom, because if you exceed kind of exceed or go below the kind of memory address of the screen. But the edges, it's a little bit wishy-washy, because you've got screen address, you go from 0 to 27, 28 to this is in hex, 0 to 27, 28 to 4F. And the thing is it's a continuous thing, so you could get bullets going off one side and coming on the other. So I'm going to use screen address, but I probably will keep a record of the X and Y as well. So but the X and Y will be set once, and then not used for anything other than checking screen boundaries. Let's keep this nice and neat. I say JavaScripty. The reason I'm saying JavaScripty is just because this data structure, it feels like an object. Also, this would not be byte anymore, so this would be fill. So now I'm filling max bullets. You see, by having that constant, that makes this really easy. So if I want to change the number of bullets, I can just change this value up here, and I don't have to go down and redo all these fills again. Okay, so screen address, nice and simple. It's just going to be screen LSB. And this will be the same here. I'm not going to make any changes to color RAM for these bullets. Color RAM should not change. I think there's a few cases where color RAM will have to go red, but that would be based on different in-game objects. I don't think the bullets will ever go red. So, and if a bullet hits an object, then it won't be displayed anyway. So, so screen not with 3, with there. Screen least significant byte, screen max most significant byte. So this gives us enough data to actually draw the things on the screen, but doesn't give us enough to move them. So let's start by just filling that data in. I'm going to add another label here, like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the initialize, I'm just going to store no, it doesn't. Bullet types. Yeah, there'll be bullet types as well. So there's going to be bullet types. There's going to be bullet direction as well. But I'm not going to put them in yet. I'm just going to make them display on the screen. Once we get them displaying on the screen, we'll make them move around the screen as well. I just want to make sure that I can draw the bullets on the screen and that the particles don't, because particles are using chars as well, we need to make sure that the bullets take precedence over the top. So unlike the PC version, you're not going to be able to draw a bullet and a set of particles at the same position. They're gonna override each other. But what we do need to make sure that is if there is a bullet there and a particle moving this way, that the particle doesn't disappear when it hits the bullet. The particle still needs to move through the bullet; it just won't display while the bullet is there. So it should be fairly easy to do. It just means we need to draw the particles first and then draw the bullets over the top. I think it should work like that. We shall see. So I'm going to so we're just going to go backwards through this loop, storing 0 everywhere. This is basically just resetting the bullets. So the reason we need this is obviously if you change screens, you don't want the bullets from the previous. So if you shoot behind you a few times and then you change screens, you don't want the new screen to start drawing the bullets that you shot behind. So you need to make sure that you reset the bullets on every screen. Actually, this should probably be in a separate thing called reset here, and we'll call that from here. You also want to call it on initialization because initialization is going to be the start of the game. But the reset will just change between screens anyway. So I've been doing a bit more YouTube uploading this week, and I've noticed so many copyright strikes, and I think I've got let me just have a look. I've got 4 more videos to upload, and then I get to, so this one with the double A in it here is the first time I started using proper channels for the audio on the new overlay. So from that point on, so 4 more videos onto YouTube, and then from the 5th one onwards, they will have no music in them, and I'll get rid of these stupid copyright strikes. Like I got a couple, two videos out of the 4 or 5 that I've uploaded recently were completely blocked. They just wouldn't display. And it was because of a 40-second SID tune called Bat Mix by Prince that someone had requested. And obviously Sony claimed that music, and because the melody had been used, then I had to blank that bit of music out. Now, thankfully, that one I could blank out. So you'll notice in the videos that have it, when it appears at the bottom on the SID player, the data X, my voice will go a little bit muffly, and it's because they've actually done music removal for that one tune. It doesn't work for every tune, but it does on that one, I guess, because it's famous. So yeah, it's really annoying, and I don't care that much. I mean, YouTube makes me like $5 a month or something. It's not like I make a fortune off YouTube or anything, but I refuse, even for $5, to give that $5 to some fat cat somewhere. So I could just turn monetization off as well, but I think even with monetization off, they will still give ad revenue to these people, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so one problem I see with this actually is by going backwards, we're limiting how much data we can have in here to 128. So that means we can only have 4 more properties in here if we go with this size. So I'm actually going to go forwards just to double the amount of pixels I can, the amount of bullets I can use. How's everybody's Thursday been? Everybody been good? So only need to make the PS5 cheap. I've realised as well I'm probably going to get the PS5 at roughly the same time I get the 3090. So I'm just wondering when I put the 3090 in, maybe I should just put it in inside the case anyway. Even if I don't take it apart, I could probably fit it inside the case somehow. I can definitely hook it up to these front panels, so I can still turn it on with the pad and stuff. So I don't know. See. You should stream all royalty free. So it's really hard to figure it out which ones are royalty free, though. That's the thing. So I did consider blocking certain SIDs in the request. Decided to get the 3090. Yeah, of course. Of course. Why would I get anything less? That's data. Because I'm running a 4K 14 hertz screen G-Sync, I do want to be able to run Cyberpunk 2077 at that resolution, completely maxed out. And I think even the 3080 is not going to be able to quite manage that. Whereas I think the 3090 might. So, okay, that should reset the bullets. And I can probably still get 500 or 600 quid for each of these TIs. So, oh yeah, I run everything in 4K. I can't go any lower than that anymore. It just looks weird. When I play games in 1080p, it looks really strange now. Even at 1440p, it doesn't look quite right. Okay, so we need to add bullets. So this is resetting the bullets. This is adding the bullets, and then we need we need to be able to add a bullet. Then we need to be able to draw bullets, and then we need clear bullets. So the bullets will only ever be displayed over blank backgrounds. So the act of clearing a bullet really only needs to put a space back in the place. So we don't need to change the original. We don't need to store what's underneath, which is great because it means if there's particles there and it draws over the top of a particle, clearing the bullet is going to also clear the particle, but the particle would be cleared anyway. It's not going to cause any big issues. So, also, I don't count 4K as using DLSS to get 4K. That's not 4K. That's 1080p that's been scaled up. All right, it's scaled up better than most things scale up, but it's still scaled up, so I don't count that at all. Yeah, it's a good job I got the case I've got, right? There's plenty of room in there for it, so I could probably fit two in there just about. I could probably just about fit two in. There's a triple. My NV link is 3 slots, so it should be able to just about fit two in, but I don't want two. Two is over the top. If I had an 8K screen, 8K gaming screen, then I would, but I don't have an 8K gaming screen. In fact, I don't think anybody has a proper 8K gaming screen because they only do 60 hertz. I think the only one I've seen is a Dell one, a 27-inch, 60 hertz, not G-Sync or anything like that, and it's like $2,000 or something. I don't want that. What floor is your flat on? Will the floor take the weight? Yeah. Yeah, it will. It's fine. Yeah, they showed people saying it was better than native, and that's just bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. For a start, they showed Death Stranding at 4K native, and the thing is they had the texture quality really low down, so of course it's going to look better than that because the AI is going to upscale, and the AI fills in the detail. But if you use full 4K textures as well, then if you have 15 active bullets, then fire, which means another bullet, and then fire again, then back to bullet zero. If bullet zero is still active, do you check it? No. So this is why I use what we call it a ring buffer. I think it's a computer term, but basically you have a buffer of data of a set size. So here at the moment our data is 4 bytes per item. And what you do is you keep an index into that, and you have a maximum amount. And when you reach that maximum amount, you just go back to the beginning again. This is why it's called a ring buffer. Doors suddenly opening for some reason. But because of the way that the bullet system works, because all we're actually doing is drawing and clearing bullets here, what would happen is as long as we add the bullets after they've been cleared, then you won't see anything. All you'll see is the 15th, the 16th bullet disappear and be replaced by the new bullet. However, in this case, I'm using a ring buffer, so that's what would happen. But I'm going to try and make sure that this accounts for the most number of bullets you'd be able to fit on a screen in one go. So okay, right. I think it's called a ring buffer. I'd have to check. I can't remember any of my computing terms. I didn't actually do computing at well, I didn't go to university. I didn't do computing beyond GCSE, and I didn't really do a GCSE in it either. It was just we had a computer room. We used to go in and play on the BBC Micros and the Pets. Or round robin, yeah. I think ring buffer is the proper term for it. As I say, most of these terms are picked up from other articles and things. I say I've never had kind of formal computing training at all, which I think has helped me actually, because it's meant I can focus on the things I like and not worry about having to learn some obscure kind of some obscure language that I need to pass some fucking credentials somewhere and get some credit for something. It's a lot easier like this. Okay, right. So add bullets. So what do we need to do? We need an X and a Y. So we may as well pass them in X and Y. We'll have a look and see. It may be that we change them to other things, but for now, in fact, we will change them because we're going to need an index. So well, let's think about it. Right. So we're going to first of all we're going to need an index into this. So we're going to grab next index here. We'll always use the version here. We'll increase it at the end. So at the very end here, we're going to increase it. We're going to compare that to max bullets. If it's not equal, then we'll skip to here. Otherwise, we'll load Y with 0. And we'll store Y at next index. So we're going to use Y as our index here. So that means I'm really not keen on accumulator being X. Well, we'll do it the other way around. We'll do it like this. There we go. That makes more sense, I think. Ring buffer is the freedom you have just before you get married. Yeah. Circular buffer. Yeah, circular buffer is another one I think I've heard before as well. But yeah, it's quite a common data structure, I think, in stuff. Hey ZX Becky, welcome, dude. I was considering as well when I get the 3090. I was considering streaming, putting the 3090 because I think people might be interested in how I do the water cooling stuff. And then I realized if I do that, I don't really have any way of streaming. Oh well, I guess I could use my laptop. I could probably set my laptop up to do it. I mean, it is a decent laptop; should be able to stream it. But yeah, I may stream putting that in because it could be quite interesting. Oh, it's this game you port, Cecconoid. It's a game that's on Steam now. It's just come out on Switch as well. It's available on iOS and Android as well, by a small indie team called Triple Eh. Thalamus have backed kind of everything outside of the Steam version. I think the Steam version is just Triple Eh on its own. But I think I think everything else is Thalamus kind of is published. So Andy contacted me about doing a port for the C64, and I jumped at the chance. I mean, I like this sort of game. I really enjoyed Cybernoid, so it's kind of nice to do this. It's basically it's a modern take on Cybernoid, so in kind of specky colours, so black and white basically. All right. Okay, so we've got our y index. So now we need to convert the position we've got here into screen coordinates. So we've already got the screen row and screen LSB, so we can look that up using the y register here. So first of all, I'm going to create a new 0 page thing. We've got some global temps, so we can use the global temps. So as I said before, a global temp is going to be a variable, a 0 page memory address or variable that we're going to use that should only ever be called in a function that has calls no other function, and doesn't change outside of that function. So we can use it in here, but we can't use it anywhere else. So I'm going to store that in. But I'm going to call this. I'm going to call it screen X, and then I'm going to create a label up here for it. Actually, that should be a constant. I'm getting the hang of constants and labels in here. There is a special, yeah, there is, yeah. Good, tons of videos. Yeah, it's a really good game actually. I'm not very good at it though. I know Andy from Thalamus has played through most of it, because I've seen his score on Steam and he's way ahead of me. I can't get anywhere near him, although I do find it a bit easier on the Switch. So I've got it on both Steam and the Switch. I do definitely find it easier on the Switch. Okay, so we're going to store this, and the reason we're going to store this is because we need to use the X register to start looking up some stuff in these tables. So we've already got okay, let's just keep that down there for now. So this is now store data. So first of all, we need to get the data. Actually, keep that up at the beginning there. I think this is fine. Okay. So we need to get the screen row. So we're going to get that from the accumulator. So the accumulator has our Y position. So we're going to use that to look at the screen row. So we're going to transfer the accumulator to the X, because X is our free index register because we've stored it here. And then we're going to look up tables.screen row LSB, X. And now we can store that. So we can store that at data .screen LSB. There we go. Oh, not quite actually, because what we need to do is we need to add our screen X on here as well. Now, just thinking, is there any case where this may overflow? Yes, it probably will. So there is a point at I think screen row 7, where halfway across it switches. So we do need to also load comma X, and that should be MSB. And this time we're just going to add 0 to it. And this is because we need to do this addition here. So we do need to make sure that we add this correctly. Okay, the other thing we need to do is we need to store the X and the Y properly as well. So we already have the accumulator as the Y. So let's put some notes in here. Store original XY. So this would be store the accumulator at data dot. So this is Y. Now I don't think we can do data.y, comma y. I don't think we can do store x, comma y. pretty sure we can't. Anyway, I need to check that, but I'm fairly certain we can't do that. Store X, yeah, we can't. We can do it with 0 page, but we can't do it any other way. So that's fine. That's fine. It just means that we need to. So once this is transferred to the X register here, we can then load screen X and store that at data X, Y. So calculate screen address. So you see if I spell that wrong. Yeah, it's 2 Ds. For some reason, that looked weird with 2 Ds, but it's correct. Spelling was never my strong point. I'm sure Andy's going to pounce on that to say, yeah, I can't spell color properly, but I actually mistyped color in Discord today. I typed it with a U, and I was really upset. So I quickly changed it. But I actually typed color with a U today. So you go, it does happen. Okay, so we stored the original X and Y. Actually, is there any way we can? No, there isn't really, is there? Because we need to do this, unfortunately. We could maybe. No, it's fair. This is fine. Okay, calculate screen address. We store screen MSB, screen LSB, and that's fine. And then we increment the data. So there we go. That's adding a single bullet to the screen. This doesn't contain any bullet types. This doesn't contain any bullet directions at the moment, but we'll add that in. We'll add that in soon. So draw bullets. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the screen MSB. If the screen MSB is 0, and this is a trick I use all the time when I do anything in an array that has something like this, I try and find a value where if it's 0, it can mean that it's inactive. And in this case, screen MSB. So our screen is way up in the high end of RAM. So if MSB is 0, which would imply 0 page, then obviously this can't be drawn. So we're going to use screen MSB 0 as a way to check that the bullet's been drawn on it. So the reason I like to do 0 is because then you can use a branch if not equal, and it means you don't have to do a comparison. Something which is beautiful in 6502, and I absolutely hate in Z80 the fact that you have to do comparisons to compare against 0. Although, as Specconoid said, I've already learned to use exclusive OR A to do a load accumulate with 0. So I'm going to start to learn to use OR A to do a compare with 0, just to speed things up a little bit. But yeah, and it doesn't set flags, but yeah, it's stupid. I don't know why. It's so stupid. They'd save a lot of cycles if they just did that. I wonder how many cycles would be saved if loading actually set flags. Probably quite a lot. Okay, so we know how to add a bullet, so now we need to be able to draw a bullet, and we need to be able to clear the bullets. So this is going to be 2 loops. I'm going to make the loop, and I'm going to copy it into clear bullets because it's basically going to be the same. And we're going to use self mod code here for speed, and because we're using these addresses here anyway. So we're going to go backwards through the loop this time for definite. We're going to use the max bullets like so. And this needs to be -1 because we're going backwards through the loop, so we need to start at max bullets -1 because everything is 0 indexed. So here's our loop, which means we're going to decrease here. Now, this does mean we're limited to 128 bullets, but honestly, I can't imagine 128 bullets being something we run into the need for at any point. So, okay, that's the 2 loops set up, and that should be loop. That should be loop. I'm going to take a quick break now. When I come back, we'll do the draw bullets. And we should be able to get that set pretty quickly and get it displaying on screen. Where's my overlay gone? Oh, there it is. All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Anybody win big? Yeah, it is. It's from the original, that picture. Yeah, there is a new version that Steve Day, is it? I can never remember his name. The one who always signs his pictures with Steve. He's done a version of it as well, so which I've got for the game. I found out who's doing the music as well, by the way. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, so I'm going to keep quiet for now. But it's kind of exciting. It's kind of cool. So apologies to Richmond Mike. I can tell you it's not Mike, unfortunately. But it's cool anyway. I'm sure Mike won't mind that this person is doing it. But if Thalamus Andy is on, I'm sure he can say so. And apparently it's almost ready, but we're gonna put a dummy track in for testing. We're not gonna reveal the music straight away. I've not heard it yet, but I'm assuming it will be very good. I suspect it will be. Okay. Andy's on form with the raffles. Opit DW. Who's DW? Oh, David Whittaker. No, I wish it was David Whittaker. I like David Whittaker's. Oh, in fact, that reminds me. I need to request a tune. Hang on. Is it going to find that? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Is it Rob Hubbard? I'm not going to say a word. I'm not saying who it was, but Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, Forrest Whitaker has now branched into Sid Music. Okay, drawing the bullets. Okay, so this should be pretty simple. We've got a register in here. So first thing we need to do is we need to grab the screen MSB. Thanks for the bits, Emma. Cheers, dude. I loved that you did the cheers as well with your wine. That was brilliant. I'm really pleased. You absolutely made my day with that. So, no text to speech. What a waste of bits. Hey, Hayes. It's Maria Whittaker. Oh my God, Maria Whittaker. Why does that name ring a bell? Yeah, Whittaker. Was she the one that was on the Barbarian cover? Rings a bell, that, for some reason. Page 3. Yeah, she was, wasn't she? She was the she was on Barbarian. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, so we'll have a skip here. This needs to be the same in here as well, so we may as well copy that. If it's equal to 0, then we'll skip, because as I said, if the screen MSB is 0, then we know we're in a position where the bullet has not been added yet. So, lovely outfits, very large boobies. Oh yeah, wolf. Oh God, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Oh my God. Oh my God, I need to find the Barbarian cover now. Sorry, I digress a little bit, but I actually need to find this. Of course, that brings up loads of Conan stuff. So, let's have a look. No, I'm trying to drop it into the thing. God, it's got tiny cover, but yes, there you go. Oh God, we were easily swayed, weren't we? Oh, look at Google. This is Google's AI. So Google's AI will actually work out what is being drawn. That's actually pretty good. A busty woman with long curly hair lounges on the floor. She's wearing a tiny bikini. A muscular man wearing a loincloth stands above her, holding a sword upright in his hand. The background is of a painted rocky surface in flames. That's actually, their AI is getting very, very good at that, actually. That's impressive. No, it is. That's Google's got some image AI stuff which is very, very impressive, actually. Um you should try it out. If you I didn't know it did it on images like that, but obviously it makes sense, I guess. So if I just search for sandwich, let's see if it can work out what a sandwich is. So if I go in here and how do I do that? No. It's not doing it on that one. I think I have to do it from the Google page, so hang on. No, it's not giving me it on that one. I don't know how to do it, but it's the first time I've ever seen it appear like that, so. Just Google AI. What you mean, like audio description of Pornhub? uh, yeah, so I'm probably gonna get loads of sandwich ads now, aren't I? Oh well. Anyway, right, let's get back to this. So these routines are pretty much the same up until this point. If this value is not blank, then what we need to do is we need to create a screen self mod here. So I'm just going to call it screen SM. And this is going to be storing a value at our self mod location. Now the bullets that get drawn are going to be dependent on the type that we set in here, but for now we're just going to set any old value in here. So I do need to open. Let me find it, or is it there? Source, yeah, source. I test, right? Yeah, here we go. So I've already defined these characters down here as unusable because they're the particle system. So I'm just going to drop a character in here, which is what we're going to use for the bullet. So we're going to keep all our kind of dynamic stuff down here. And then this will be used to fill in details on there. So let me just export that. Level Charles, let's go with that. I think that's probably right. So we're going to set the character E0 for these. So screen SM will actually be the same here as well. The difference will be that here it will be loading 0, which will be the blank char. That's for clearing it. Whereas here we'll be loading E0, which will be our bullet char. So if that value is non-zero, then we can store it. So that screen SM plus 2, which will be our most significant byte. At which point we can also load the screen LSB X, and we can store that. So that will actually be the same down here as well. It kind of feels like we can maybe reuse these routines, but I'm not too fussed about stuff. So Pornhub AI will just be Dave's sister could not afford the pizza. However, they reach a satisfactory resolution. Oh man. Yeah, Google Lens is actually pretty good. One of the things I really like about Google Lens is it's translate from your camera, which is kind of cool. So I've used that a few times while I've been abroad. You point it at a menu and it will basically replace the text on the menu in your view of the camera with translator. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. And certainly all right for like reading menus or signs and things like that. Um, it's actually pretty handy. Okay, so this should be all we need to draw the bullets and clear the bullets. We're not doing any updates here. We're just drawing and clearing. So let's go and add those into our game loop. So question is, where do we do the draw and where do we do the clear? So the multiplexer, where is the the multiplexer is on an IRQ. So we've got the update particles here. This is player control, so we're doing a control update. So we'll do it before the control, after the particles. So I'm going to put another border null in just in case I want to debug the border colors, and we're going to do bullets. Dot, hang on, where do we clear these? We need to clear these before we draw the particles. So actually, this needs to be up here. No. Actually, let's do it all in this bit here. I guess it makes sense to do it in the kind of, this whole area has been used to draw characters on the screen. So we're making sure that we clear bullets first, then clear particles. Actually, the order of these two really doesn't matter too much. It's not a huge deal, but the order of these two does matter. We definitely want the bullets to be drawn last, so we'll do that here, like so. So that should draw the bullets and then clear them as well. So let's go ahead and just here as a, I'm just going to put debug in here. Don't need that there. Let's put some test in here. So let's add a bullet. So we're going to call bullets, and we need to send the X in the X register. So we'll set this to, let's do somewhere in the middle of the screen. So let's go 20 across and 10 down. That will be, well, 12 down. That would be somewhere in the middle. Now, if we run this, we should hopefully see one bullet in the middle of the screen. Except I've got some errors here. Unknown symbol next index. Okay, so we've got a bullets line 8 syntax error. Okay, so forgot the colon there, and this should have data before it. Unknown symbol screen MSB, so this should also have data. Like so. Data. Google Lens tags you as an animal. Apple was convinced one of my dogs was a cat when she was a puppy. Okay, so there we go. We have. Okay, so we do have a problem in that the particles are checking for non-zero values here. So what we need to do is we need to actually do an additional check on the particles. We need to make sure that those particles check a range of characters rather than just 0. So if it's 0, it should be able to move through, but also if it's above that E0 limit. So let's go and just quickly do that in the particles. Okay, so draw, we're not interested in, actually, where are the particles removed? So particles in a wall here. So this is where we're actually checking. Okay, so this is actually checking to see if the value is less than a certain value. So we can actually change this now to be particle char count. It's probably never going to change, but I'm going to, at the same time, I'm going to put minus 16 here. So can maybe make that a constant. It's the only place I'm really going to need it though, so I'm just going to leave it as that for now. A comment there is good enough, I think. So what we might find here is that it tries to draw the particles over that. No, it doesn't. They still die though when they go in there. So that maybe wasn't enough. Compare. This point char has been selected. Okay. No, what we need to do. What we need to do here is we'll do another check here. So we're going to check now to see. Free chars before particles. Oops. And we'll do a branch to skip if it's more than that. So this will actually clear the particle if it hits another particle. So no, if it hits wait a minute, if it hits a wall, if it's more than this value, it should go to here. Okay, so that should be that. And this would be like that. There we go. No, they're still not. They're still disappearing when they hit that. Okay, bloody fly flying around here. It's annoying me. Okay, this is drawing the particles. Maybe it's in the update. So let me just get rid of that for a second. No, keep that on. Sorry. Yeah, see, this is what's actually killing the particle here. Maybe it's in the update particles. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. So actually leave that in there, but then we also need to do. Okay, I definitely need a new constant here. Where's that particle char count coming from? Oh, it's in 0 page. Why is it in 0 page? It should not be there. Okay, so what we need to do is two things. We need to put that in there, but then we also need to do it in the update as well, because I think it's the update that's actually doing this in here. So we do a check here, and you see it resets here. So actually, we probably don't need it in the drawer, so we can probably save a bit of memory by getting rid of it in the drawer, because we remove it in the update. Think about this. So this is just the update. So this is the drawer. So we probably don't need this clear here. If we just made that skip like so. Just trying to see if that will save us a bit of, because that will make the particles ever so slightly faster. How come I'm back in Sublime? I use Sublime for all my C64 stuff. I only really use, I'm still not going through though. I only really use Visual Studio for everything else. It's just that I've got used to this as a C64 dev environment. I prefer it to Visual Studio Code. I think the plugin for Visual Studio Code is okay, but it's not quite as good as the Sublime one. Oh, why is it going through? It should definitely be going through the bullet. Okay, let's leave that in there for a second. Let's just go and have a look at the clear. The update, sorry. Oh, hang on. This is... okay, two different things here. Okay, so we need it in here as well. So good job I did make that a constant. Yeah, at the moment, just the Z80 stuff. Actually, I do prefer Visual Studio Code. I use Visual Studio Code for everything else. There we go, perfect. I just don't use it for C64 stuff. A Visual Studio is way better than IntelliJ. I'm sorry, Hayes, but it is. Because I like my IDE to respond when I press buttons, not take 4 hours to do anything. I used IntelliJ quite a lot, I must admit. In fact, I use WebStorm, which is a slightly better version of IntelliJ for at least for JS anyway. And then I moved to Atom, and then Sublime. But now I'm on Visual Studio Code, and I think for JS stuff, it's definitely the best one out there. But that's my opinion. Doesn't really matter what I think. So I think actually, if I do, hang on, let me check this. So we check the value to see if it is less than this. Almost don't need this section here at all. I feel like that is unnecessary. So we have that. Okay, let's put that there. She's actually going to save us a handful of cycles here, so he's both recovered. Yeah, VS is a lot of fun. IntelliJ is great. IntelliJ has some really nice features. The problem is it's become this unwieldy, bloated kind of ecosystem, which because it's written in Java is kind of very heavy on the processor. And any kind of decent number of plugins in there, and I'm sorry, but you need plugins in most IDEs to get the most out of them. Then it starts crawling to a halt. especially in very, very big projects. If you've got projects with like hundreds of folders and hundreds of assets in them, then they become a problem. Whereas in VS Studio Code, it seems to handle that a lot better. Sublime's pretty good, but VS Code has better plugins, I think. Although not in the case of C64. Okay, this seems to be fine. Let me just double check that that's not trying to draw places here. Okay, so we saved a couple of cycles in the particle routine by doing that. I'm going to leave this code in here. I don't think it's necessary, but I'm just going to leave it here in case I do want to restore it at some point. Yeah, IntelliJ is good for Java stuff, to be fair. But again, it's it's really kind of because there isn't really another option, another good option for it. But even WebStorm, which was designed for JavaScript, HTML, CSS, PHP, that sort of thing, is nowhere near as fast as VS Code, and WebStorm is essentially IntelliJ stripped down for JavaScript. So, okay, right. I think that's it for making the bullets appear. Let's just add a couple in and turn the debug on and just see what happens to the performance. So let's have a look at the performance now. We've just one in, and then we'll add a few in. Helps if I press the right button. It's not going to load and not do anything. This is the thing, and in 5 years' time, I'm sure there'll be another IDE which is better. So it's just at the moment, I think VS Code is probably the best option for web stuff. Might not be the best option for like Java stuff and C or whatever, but in fact, C you definitely want to use Visual Studio, but not Visual Studio Code. You want to use the full version. Same with C# actually, for that matter. Okay, that looks pretty good. Performance is about where I expect it to be. We are encroaching a little bit on the space here with the last two updates, which are, let's have a look. Update particles, don't really care. As long as we're not drawing stuff in the screen, I don't care. If we're updating stuff, that's absolutely fine. But drawing stuff is a big no-no. So I think that's all right. Let's just add a few more bullets in. Let's just copy this routine, basically. So let's add 16. Actually, let's just do it in a for loop. It's probably the easiest way. So let's do so this should just create a row of bullets on the screen now. Sydney's up. Yeah, let me back it up a bit. Why is that not? Has it got an error? Oh, I've got an error. Oh, because I put that in. God damn it. Storm is good. I don't see any speed issues talking. If you use Visual Studio Code for any length of time, you'll realize it is way, way quicker. Okay, we only getting one bullet, so this is a problem here. I would expect to see more than one bullet here because we're essentially saying add this many in. Let me just try that, see where that actually puts the bullet. Anyway, I don't have to care about any of that anymore. I don't have to work on huge monolithic projects. I can work on my own code in my own time. So Okay, it's not drawing, and that's probably because it's trying to draw up here and all in one place, and it's only just seems to be drawing one particle. So let's have a look at our add bullet. Okay, we should be getting the next index here. So let's put a breakpoint in here and see how many times this breakpoint gets called. I should expect this to be called more than once, but I have a funny feeling it's only being called once for some reason. Or our other loops are wrong somewhere. So one. Okay, so it's being called multiple times, so that's working. So the question is it drawing them incorrectly? Let's have a look. This should be fine as well. Let's see how many it draws. Let's put a breakpoint. Actually, this is gonna. Let's put a breakpoint in here and run it in the debugger. It's probably the best way to do this. Yeah, so Robocop 3 is actually in the playlist, so in the auto playlist. Hey, Thalamus. I was just saying how we know who's doing the music for this. I don't know if you want to announce it. I haven't told anybody who it is. I wasn't sure if you wanted to say it or not. Okay, let's load this in the debugger. Is it Jerome Teller? Is it Big Jason Page? Why Big Jason Page? What's the big about there? Is it Clive Sinclair? Why is this not working? Oh, I can just drop it in, can't I? That's probably the easiest way of doing this. I wondered what you were playing at then when you said it's not Jason Page. I wondered why you were trolling them a little bit. Maybe because he's a big name, a big boy. Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. He's, I know his brother front. I think it's really cool that he's doing it as well. Okay. Also, that's not. Oh, it's not hitting the breakpoints. Damn it. Okay. Which it's only showing one bullet there, though. It's not showing any of the other bullets. So I need to find where that is in the code. I need my breakpoints to be imported. It's very annoying because I'm not even getting any code updates in here as well. Oh, damn it. Bugger. Okay. Oh, I did have a macro for this, didn't I? Hang on. Where's my macros? I said I wouldn't need these. Debug. There we go. Debug label. All right. So let me just try and drop. Debug. Draw routine E52. Okay, so if I just refresh, in fact, if I just open debugger now, it should load in. There we go. Okay, so we definitely got that one there. Okay, so this is our loop. And there's our screen address there. It's only ever drawing one. It's never drawing more than one. This is interesting. What made you think? What made you think Jason Page steps? What drew you to that? Is it because he's been quite active recently? I guess. Some X bullets. If equal to skip, presets, branch plus, go back to loop. Okay, this should be drawing. Interesting. Did you ink the index? Well, I'm decreasing it. Yeah, it's this thing here. And it's incrementing here as well. Oops. Which makes me think something else is going on here. Why is it not going through these? Let's step through it in the debugger. That's probably the easiest way of doing this. See what's going on. Maybe it's just getting the wrong value. You mean in the add routine? Let's see what's going on in here. This is going to be the easiest way. Oh, that's not the right location, is it? OE52. Oh no, it is the right location. Why is it not? Oh, because cart loading introduces a whole other set of stuff. There we go. Right. So we're definitely getting this value here. This is our table. So let's go and have a look at ODF7. Oh no, we're only seeing one in here. It's not adding more than one. It's only adding one in for some reason. So load Y with data next index. Increase the value in Y. Oh shit, there we go. I forgot to actually index it there. It's just me being dumb. Yeah. I was increasing the index, but I just wasn't using it to store the screen address, so there we go, that's better. Yeah, that's not bad actually. That's so the red and the blue are not too bad because they're update functions. But you can see even with 16 bullets on the screen, it's not making a huge difference. Oh, there is a little bit of flickering there. So the multiplex is doing some funky stuff, so I might need to check that out at some point. Only in the top half of the screen, so we'll worry about the multiplex when we start adding all the sprites in, but there does seem to be some slight glitching of the sprites in some places. Okay, cool. Right, let's we'll worry about the it was an index technically, yeah, 10 AMK points, yeah. But he's active, yes, and I would guess connected to a lot of names like Thalamus, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Jason Page is responsible for sticking the Rainbow Islands music in my head for years, so I'm excited to see what he comes up with for this. I've not heard it yet, so but we're gonna keep it on the down low and put a dummy tune in anyway, so you guys do have a little bit of a surprise when it comes out. Okay, cool. Right, so let's make these move now as well. So we need an update bullets function here. So the update bullets is going to be pretty similar to this lot here, except for what we do with the actual data here. So just get rid of that there. The update bullets can be in in the main section. So we've got update particles. We may as well just put update bullets here. And we're going to need some directional stuff here. So I'm going to try storing the bullet direction just as the value we need to add. So I'm going to do it with the Y register. And we'll start by just moving forward. Okay, so I might actually add some constants for this in here. I'm not sure if I can access them like that, so I might have to create labels. So actually, let's call it like well, we'll do it like this. So basically, we're going to have 8 versions of the bullet in here. So we're going to have left, right, up, down. Then we're going to have up, left, up, right, down, left, down, right. So the only reason I want to do it like this is just makes it simpler to look at in the code. But when we're adding the bullet, but essentially this is going to be quite simple. So if we move forward, we need to add 1. If we move backwards, we need to add FF. If we move up, then we need to subtract 40, so that would be D8. If we go down, then we need to add 40, so that's 28. So then up left will be D7, up right will be D9, down left will be 27, and this will be 29. And this way we can add bullet directions in quite easy, I think. So that means we're going to need direction in here. So again, the direction could be another area where we could have used the presence of a 0 to designate that the not using cardinal values for 8-way directions. No, because we're using screen RAM as our direction update here. Actually, do you know what? I am going to use. I'm going to use. I'm going to create a direction offsets, and the reason I'm going to do this is because I'm going to actually use these values. No, actually, this isn't going to work either. Do you know what? I'm actually gonna, and I know we probably don't need this anyway, but I am gonna store them as cardinal values. I'm gonna store them as dirx and diry. Now the reason I'm doing this is because we also need to update these values here. So I'm thinking we might need some kind of lookup here based on these values to work out what these values are here. So I'm actually going to get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do is when you add a bullet, I am going to, the very last thing I do just before I increment the index is I'm going to transfer it to the accumulator. I know. I'm going to transfer it to the X register. Now, the reason I'm transferring it to the X register is so that when I call add bullet here, X is now the index. So now I have an index for this value. So what I can do is I can then do I can set some values. So we're just going to go in one direction for now. So we're going to store that at bullets.data. comma X. There we go. Right. Just trying to work out if this is the right thing to do. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. What is this? Interesting. The beauty of adding music late in the day is you're not sick of it by the time you release the game. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I do almost every time, I've said this before on stream, is I will test that the music works, and then I will turn the music off in the emulator because I'd rather not hear the sound effects. I'd rather not hear the music. I'd rather just make sure it works, turn it off. Because it doesn't matter how good a track is, if you hear it over and over again, it will drive you mad. So I radio sad, yeah. So yeah, I always turn the music off in the emulator once I've checked that it's working. You'll almost never hear the music on any of my game things until it's released. Okay, so we've set a direction for the bullets. So now if we do the update bullets, we should be able to use that. So let's have a look. Okay, so to update the bullets, let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so here we go. So if we need to update the bullet, which we will obviously need to update the bullet, then we need to do two things. First of all, we need to work out where the new location is. Now, I'm going to use 0 page for this, and the reason I'm going to use 0 page is because I'm going to use this value more than once. So using self-mod code is going to be tricky. Actually, am I going to use it more than once? No, I can still use self-mod, so I'm going to keep that there. But we're going to use a load here, which means we can put these. No, we can't put those in just yet. We need to add to these values. So we've got the most significant byte. We've checked that. But we're going to have to do these individually. So we need to get the least significant byte. Now what we need to do is we're going to load. Can we load y comma x? I think we can load y comma x. Y comma x, yeah. Okay, so we're going to load y with direction. Let me think about this. Yeah. Right, so now we've got a direction in y. So I do need some direction lookups here. So okay, so the way this is going to work is really simple. Oh no, it's still not going to work. X is. Oh no, this can still work. I think yes, this can still work. Okay, so basically we're going to create 3 values in here. So backwards, forwards meaning middle meaning no movement, and forwards. And these values are going to correspond to the value we get here. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase this by 1. So if the direction is -1, this will become 0. If the direction is 0, it'll become 1. And if the direction is +1, it'll become 2. Then we can load up direction X offsets, comma Y. So actually, I'm not going to need that just yet. We're trying to work out a full offset. So let's calculate the offset. That's completely wrong. We're going to use a G temp for this as well. So oh, this is the crazy long Tetris tune. You pick this, Thalamus. This is crazy long, this tune. Oh man, Doxy just lost 619,000. Wow. Oh, thank you. Listen did not work. Okay, I'm not sure why. Oh, you have to do listen on its own. If you do anything after it, it doesn't work. It has to be listen on its own. But thanks, Fistmaster. I spotted that. Thanks. Yeah, it is a good tune, this. It is a very good tune, but it is super long. Okay, so I'm going to store that. Yep. Yeah, this is why I struggle to move away from Sublime on the C64, because I've got so used to the tools. I don't want to change really. So, okay, so now we can do the same with the direction X. Sorry, direction Y. Come on, X, there we go. And we'll do the same again. Set this time it's the Y offsets, and then we go and put the Y offsets in here. I mean, this should technically be in tables, but I think it's so specific to this, it's not going to be used anywhere else. So I'm going to leave it in here for now. I am going to move maximum bullets into here though as well. I'm trying to keep the constants in one file, so it's very easy to see where they all are. Was I just launched something? No, okay. Okay, so direction Y offset. So these are a bit different. So as I say, if you go up, then it's going to be D8. If you go down, it's going to be 2-8. In the middle stays 0 again. Same thing, we increase it, but this time, once we've loaded that value, we can then, oops, add the value we've got in offset here. Okay, so now we have the offset, and that's in the accumulator. We can now apply offset to screen RAM. The way we're going to do this is really simple. We've already got the value in the accumulator. We'll clear the carry flag, and we'll just add the contents of data.screen lsb, comma x. So that's going to give us an updated value, but we're not going to store that straight back in there. We're going to store this in our self mod location, and then what we'll do is if the self mod location proves to be blank, like we don't have what will essentially be it can be a particle, it can be another bullet, but it can't be anything else on the screen. Then we will allow the bullet to move, and we will copy the value from here back into this location here. Okay, so we need to load the MSB 0. Okay, so what we're looking for is, do we need to remove this character at this point? So we've loaded, we can load the character here. So this is the character of where we're moving to. It's not the character of what's currently on the screen now. It's the character of where we're moving to. And I've just realized we need to make sure the update happens before the draw. So this actually needs to be in here, like so. So I'm actually going to do this in a separate block like this. Oops. Because we need to clear the bullets, then we need to update them, and then we need to redraw them. So if this value is 0, it's fine. I'm going to call this OK to draw, OK to update. So if that value is 0, we're OK to update. But likewise, if that value is, what was it again? Particle. Oh my God, what's it? Particle char count. And 3 chars before particles. So if it's equal to or more than that, we're also OK to update. So we go to here. Otherwise, particle, sorry, not particle, the bullet has hit something. So this is where we will do our bullet to background collision checks, but for now we can just remove the bullet. We're going to be removing the bullet anyway, but we can do the bullet removal here, which is really simple. We just load the accumulator with 0, and we store that at data.screen msb, x, and then because we've set 0, we can just do branch v equal to skip, because that always branches. Otherwise, we do need to update, in which case we're going to take the value that's in screen sm plus 1, and we're going to store that at, oops, there we go. So that should hopefully make all our particles move across the screen. Probably very quickly, but they should, in theory, move across the screen. We shall see. Yep, there they go. They were very, very quick, but they did move across the screen. So just to show you that again. So keep your eyes on it. It's going to, in fact, let's slow it down. You can see it working. And when a particle hits a blank area, then it disappears. Now, at the moment, they're not checking the edges of the screen. We will have to do some work on that, because at the moment they're just moving until they hit something. It does mean in most cases that because we've got this border around the screen, that they are disappearing when they move off this edge, because they're trying to appear here. But if we had, say, an open door here and an open door here, and you shot off this side here, it would just appear back on this side, but one row down. So right, I'm gonna take a very, very quick break, and then when I come back, we'll test the other directions. Make sure the particles are working, the bullets are working in every direction. Then once they're working in every direction, we'll try and attach some control to it so they work, and then we'll add in proper bullet characters as well. So I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. I'm pretty sure Tetris will still be going by then. So back in a few minutes, guys. Be right back. Right, let's carry on. So I want to test the other directions now. So I'm just going to reduce the number of particles down to 1. The performance I'm not bothered about now. Seems to be fine. So I'll just do 1 particle. Actually, let's do it manually so I can control where it's coming from. So I'm going to set it again. I'm going to do it somewhere in the middle of the screen. Bloody flies annoying me. Goddamn thing. Trying to get famous on camera. So we'll change the direction. So we'll go backwards this time and just make sure that that's working. It's a long tune, as like I said. It's really, really long. So this bullet should be going backwards, but I didn't see a bullet. But maybe I made it spawn in the middle here somewhere. Let me spawn it a bit higher up. Game leap. Oh, actually, yeah, that was. Oh no, that's halfway across. Okay, let me spawn it here. Is that gonna work? Well, this could be the problem. This might not be working, so. It kind of appeared and then disappeared, I think. Okay, let's just move it forward. Let's just make sure this is working. So this is our X, this is our Y. Our X is at 20, so that should be appearing. See if it appears we're just going forwards. Yeah. Okay, so yep, I saw it and it moved across there. That's fine. Okay, so why didn't it move back? Let's see if it moves down. Let's try the positive directions first. So let's just try going down. See what happens. Okay, yeah, that went down. So let's try diagonal. And then we've got 3 of the 8 directions working. Okay, so it's working in the positive directions, but for some reason it's not working in the negative directions. So oh, I know why. Okay. Okay, we need to, yeah, this is one case where we do need to actually change this method slightly based on what we need to do. So adding the X offset and adding the Y offset needs to be different depending on the value that we end up with. So the problem is if the offset is negative, so if this value here is negative, oh, hang on. Yeah, okay. So we'll store that in offset. Okay. So now we need to check. So if it's minus, we'll go to neg, and this will be pos. So negative wise, we can positive wise, we can pretty much use what we've got, but I'm just going to do it this way instead. Carry will be clear here, so we can always jump to this because it will always be absorbed by this. Always be consumed by that, sorry. So if it's negative, then what we need to do is we need to do something slightly different here. And I've done this before. I'm gonna demonstrate it again. I don't know why my channel videos is open there, but I'll show you the problem we've got in Easy 6502 because it's nice and easy to show this very quickly. So so what we want to do is we want to take a number. Let's say our screen RAM is at C00, like so, right? And we want to go backwards, right? So our backwards value by 1 means this. Now what I was doing was this. Let's put that in X and put this in Y. So the value it's returning is C0FF, where it should be returning BF FF because we've gone backwards. So what we need to do here instead then is if we're going backwards, then this can be done this way. So if the carry is clear, we'll jump to skip, which we'll put that there, put the skip here. Reset. Oh, that's not going to work either. I do this so often, and I should really come up with a better way of doing this. Subtract 0, maybe. Ah, there we go. Okay. So if we add the value and then subtract 0, 0 to FF, yeah, that should be right. Okay, so it's basically the same routine as this. Thanks, Doxter. I appreciate it. Cheers, dude. Thanks for the bits. Okay, so we don't need the carry clears here because the carry is already clear. Actually, no, it's maybe not. Okay, that's fine. But what we need to do here is subtract 0 instead of adding 0, and we don't need that branch here anymore. Okay, I think that should work. So let's give that a try. Let's go into game loop. Let's set X to backwards. So we should see a bullet going backwards this time. I didn't stop the race, did I? Let me stop the race. Oh no, I did stop the race. Okay. Maybe I didn't start the race. Oh, there we go. The bullet's going backwards. Fine. Okay, so let's move the bullet down a little bit and make it go upwards. So let's move it down to about here. Some crazy tunes you guys are picking. Oh, I missed that. Did that spawn a bullet upwards? Wasn't paying attention. Pay attention this time. Yep, bullet up. Okay, so okay, that's good. So we should be able to combine these now as well. So forward and up should work. So this is going to be up to the right. which is fine. And let's try up and to the left. And then we'll try down and to the left as well. And then that's everything. That's every direction checked. Yep. So we just need to check down, and then we're good. And then we can start adding the controls in for this as well. So we'll check down and to the left as well. There's about 1 million versions of Airwolf as well, so it's pretty easy to get Airwolf playing on a loop if you want to. Cool. Everything looks good there. So let's whack the speed back up again. Let's turn the debug off because I'm pretty happy with the performance, so I don't need the debug stuff. And let's try adding those into control. So let's go and have a look at our control proxy stuff. So at the moment, this is just fetching move control and fire control. So at the moment, we're not doing any checks to see which control method we've got. We're just returning fire control and move control, which is fine. But it does mean we need to, in our probably do it in the update particle, in the update bullets here, actually. Actually, do we have player control, don't we? Hang on. Player control. All right, let's create another one in here called fire control, I guess. All right, let's remove. Where's the game link? There we go. So player control is here. So let's add fire control in here. And now we're going to move this into player control in here. Right, okay. So in order to fire control, what we need to do, first of all, we need to check, we need a shoot rate, basically. So I'm going to create another. Now, the reason I'm doing it like this and not just using our global timer is because I might want a very, very precise control over this. So basically what we're going to have is we're going to have a fire timer. If it's at 0, we can shoot. If it's not at 0, then it's going to count down. And the amount it's going to count down by, it's going to be based, first of all, it's going to be based on this fire rate here. But we may, I don't know if the fire rate changes at any point in the game, but we may want to change that. So this may change into multiple fire rates in here, or it may change into a variable in memory somewhere. So the first thing we need to do is we just need to check this this value, because if this is at 0, we can't do any. If this isn't at 0, we can't do any shooting. So if it's not at 0, sorry, if it is at 0, we can go to shoot, or we can check shoot even. Which is going to be this bit here. However, if it isn't at 0, then what we need to do is we need to decrease it and then exit. Okay. If it is at 0, then we can shoot. So, we need to check the shoot. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check fire control. And we're checking basically if up, down, left, or right has been pressed. So if we AND this with 0F, and compare it to 0F, if it's not the same, then we're shooting. Otherwise, we exit. actually, if I do this here, I can save a byte. There we go, saved a byte. So if we are shooting, we now need to work out which direction we're shooting in, and this is going to be based on the fire directions here. Now, one way to do this is just to have a load of kind of checks if all the way down. But another way to do it would be to just have use 32. We're going to waste 32 bytes here, but it's gonna make sense, I think, in the long run. So basically, this is going to set a -1 or a 1 for the X, depending on which direction the joystick is. So we've got 15 different bit values that can be taken from the joystick here. So we're gonna use those to grab the value. We've already done an AND here, so we know which value is probably going to be. So basically, this is the inverse. So a few of these values are going to be impossible. So for instance, 0 is going to be impossible because that means you're pushing up, down, left, right at the same time. The values we're interested in here are actually going to be up, which is going to be 15, down, which is going to be 13. Oh, actually, maybe this is going to be easier done. I'm trying not to use it. Do you know what? I'm going to anyway. Just for readability, I'm gonna waste a few cycles just to do this. So I'm gonna so this is just going to invert that. So that means now 0 will mean nothing is being pressed. Up is here, down is here, up and down together is here, which is not anything at all. This is going to be left, so this can be -1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 8. So then this is going to be 5 is going to be up and left, so that's still -1. 6 is going to be down and left, so this is all left. Then this is 8, so this is not 2, sorry, 1. And then these last ones, so this is 12, so 12 would be left and right pressed together, which is impossible, so these would all be zeros. I'll put a little note in there what these are. So up and down. So 0 is nothing. Up is 1, so this will be -1. Down is this one, so this would be 1. This is up and down, so that would be nothing. 4 is left, so that would be no up or down. 5 would be up and left, so that would be -1. 6 would be down and left. Down and right, sorry. And 7 would be up and down and left, which is impossible, so it'd be 0. Then 8 is right, so it's 0. Then it would be again be up and down, 0. And then the last ones are again impossible because this is a combination of left and right at the same time. So okay, so now we know that value, we can transfer that into the X register and we can load fire X, comma X, which is our, well, these are our directions here, so we need to grab these after we've added the bullet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push these onto the stack and I'm going to pull them back off again. Okay, now we need to actually so hang on, get So we need to get the player position. We may already have that actually. Collision lookup. Nah, I'm not gonna rely on that. I'm gonna actually grab the player position, I think. Yeah, we're using collision stuff here, so I'm not gonna go with that. I'm gonna actually just grab the player. So in that case, I need to here we go. So I need to grab the upper byte first, and then we need to shift that to the, let me get this right, to the right. And then I need to roll this value. So now I have the X position divided by 2. So I need to subtract 12. And now the accumulator contains our X position on the screen. Now this X position is going to be the very top left of our sprite. So we're going to need to move that in a little bit. But for now, we'll just get it working and then we'll move it. So am I missing anything in here? No, it's just people chatting about, God, there's so much gamble stuff. I need to figure a way out of changing this. Maybe have a site where you can go and place your bets or something. Because it is just race, points, gamble. Okay, so we now have the X position in the accumulator. So I can just transfer that to the X register, which is this bit here. So now we don't need to do that. And now we need to get the Y position. So the Y position is pretty much, oh no, sorry, this is, I still need to divide by 4 here. There we go. Right, now that's correct. So to do the Y position is a bit simpler. We can subtract the top, which is 32, which is the border. And now that value is in the accumulator, and that's our Y position. So add the bullet here. And now I should be able to pull these values. So we'll do the Y first. There we go. So we should use a stack. So now hopefully this should create a bullet pointing in the direction that we're moving. So with a bit of luck now, I should be able to use joystick 2 to shoot bullets in a direction. So let's, fingers crossed. So here's my guy. Okay, so there is a problem that these are shooting too quick. The reason these are shooting too quick is because I'm not adding the timer on. So so once we've finished adding the bullet, I reset fire rate timer. So I need to load the accumulator with, what did I call it? Fire rate. Store that in player fire timer. There you go. Write a Twitch overlay for betting on the race. Yeah, it's really difficult actually because you're kind of limited to using chat or giving somebody a third-party site to use instead, which will come with its own problems as well. So I'm not sure how to do it. Okay, cool. So there we go. We've got bullets shooting in all directions now, and that's controlled by my joystick too. So I can shoot any direction I want. Now, these bullets are coming from the top corner here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the size of the sprite in, half the size of the sprite, so they appear from the middle. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. We've got twin stick shooting now and particles, and the only glitch is in the multiplexer, which I think is I will need to probably tweak this multiplexer a little bit, and it's only when I'm at the top here. It seems to be fine everywhere else on the screen. So, and as I say, the multiplexer will adjust according on to which screen we're on. Also, the speed of the bullets needs to be probably adjusted as well, because at the moment they're just running at full speed. I don't know how fast they are. We might need to tweak those a little bit, but it's probably all right actually. Okay, so let's adjust that position a little bit. So in order to adjust the position, what we need to do is we need to change this value in here. So at the moment here, we do we half it, and then we do some some shifting here. So what we can do is as soon as we've subtracted the border and we've divided the x position by 2, we can add a little bit in. So we just need to add the width of the sprite, half of the width of the sprite. Half of the width of the sprite is 12, but we've already halved the value, so we need to add 6 in, which is half of that value again. So add sprite offset for bullet origin. And likewise down here we can do the same. We'll do it in exactly the same place. We'll wait for the value to be halved, and then we'll add a value in. So here we're going to add in what value? 10 would be the value here. Oh no, 10 would be halfway through this, right? So 5. The reason I wait for it to be halved here is just for symmetry with this one more than anything. But the thing is in this one, you need to wait for it to be halved because you need to do this 16-bit shift. So it has to be halved when you do it. I could probably move this up to here, but then it could have problems if you happen to be right on the edge of the screen and you're shooting as well. So this should hopefully make them appear in the middle now. So these bullets are going to appear from the center of the character now. I don't know if the character's appearing in front or behind the scenery, actually. Is he... Oh, wait, I'm not seeing... Oh, it's behind, isn't it? It's going behind the scenery, that's why. Yeah, it's going behind, so I need to change the priority so it appears in front. But yeah, now it's appearing from the middle of the ship, which is pretty good. And we can adjust those values as well. So I'm going to add these to constants. So instance bullet origin x. I'm just going to set these to the full values for now, and this means we can shift the bullet around if we need to offset it a little bit. So not in there, in player. Here we go. And then the same here, but with origin Y. So this means we can shift it. So if we wanted it to appear kind of quite low on the ship, we can do that by changing the values in the constants. This is why it's good to have this constants file, I think. We can change all these values and we can test things, and it becomes very tweakable then. By the way, after the stream, I might just stream some, because I'm going to play some Satisfactory before I go to bed, so I might just stream some of that. So those who haven't seen it can see what it's all about, and if you're interested. Can the engine particles change to gravy? So I have thought about this a little bit. I can certainly make that happen, but the problem is that means that character block is then grey. So that means if I shoot over it, the bullets will turn grey as well. It's something I've thought about, but I'm not sure it's going to be too easy to do. So the other problem we've got here is that we've only got 8 pixels of movement. You can see they appear on rows. It's not going to be smooth. So this is why having it spawn from the middle of the ship is going to be the best, because that's going to give us the least detachment, if you like. So I've got it spawning really low at the moment, but yeah. Oh yeah, satisfying. I mean, I've been playing it for about a week actually, and I'm already 50 hours into the game that I've been playing. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to play it anyway. So, you know, I don't mind. I don't mind keeping it, keeping the stream running and playing that. So it's so much fun. I'm trying to get to tier 6 at the moment. So tier 7, sorry. So yeah, this is feeling pretty good now. So you can see there's a little bit of a variance as I move. So here it's kind of appearing just above the center. Here it's appearing just below the center, but it's just because of the way the chars work. And I think it's a minor thing. It's not going to affect your play of this game. So you'd still be able to shoot that down there, for instance. And you can see even with only 16. So I wonder actually, let me slow this right down and then I'll give it a pause. I wonder how many bullets I can get on the screen in one go. See, that's only 8. So I can probably reduce that maximum. What's the white pixel flashes in the top? White pixel flashes in the top. Oh, up here, this is an emulator thing. It doesn't appear on real hardware. It's some weird effect that happens on it's some weird effect that happens in the emulator for some reason. I don't know why. It happens in the Saturday game as well. What are the particles, chars, or sprites? Yeah, they're chars. Yeah, they're chars, but they're done in a way that they can overwrite each other. Yeah, this is feeling pretty good actually now. Oh, what have I done here? I've kind of locked. Somehow I've locked the fire on. I'm not sure how. Also, my controls have gone weird. Why is that suddenly controlling? What have I done? I've Look, the controls down here is locked onto that way for some reason. Oh, I notice. Okay, so we're cutting some holes in the scenery here as well. I'm not sure why. Okay, let me restart. I need to make sure. How much CPU does this take? Not too bad actually. So I'm still managing to do all this in the VBlank, but let me wrap some stuff around the particles and show you. So I'll just do the border around the particles. The holes are when you shoot from within the background. Ah, okay, thank you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, which I probably will need to address, which is probably why actually checking. Yeah, I probably do need to check when you draw the particles that space is free, I guess. Because it shouldn't, it's still, because you should be able to go right up to the wall and still be able to shoot, just not do anything. So I'll check that in a minute. Okay, so the white border that we're going to see now is the particle update. This is the particle update for all particles, even not just the 6 that we're seeing. In fact, you can't even see it because it's not showing in the... Oh, because I need to turn debug on, that's why. So say that's incredibly efficient. Do like myself a bit of outrun. I don't know why it's split into two, but hang on. I've got something else going on here. I don't know which one of the particles is. Border. Okay, the particles is this top one here. So it's this white bit here. So it's not too bad at all. And I can have quite a lot of particles going on as well. So I think it starts down here. So it's not a lot really, considering what's going on. And the thing is we can have up to 64 particles pretty easily without really affecting that at all. And what will happen is you particles use less racetime than mine do. The effect can be kind of the update can be dynamically scaled as well. So when you reach a high number of particles, what will happen is the updates will happen on every other frame instead. So you won't get you'll get like a flicker in between. So once you reach a certain number of particles, they'll start to flicker. Now, when it's flickering, when the gap between a particle being drawn, the number of frames of particle being drawn and being cleared is 1-to-1. So it's like one frame on, one frame off. You will barely see that on real hardware. You will see a flicker in an emulator, but you probably won't notice it on real hardware because it will be perfectly synced and it will just look like a slightly faded out particle, but it will still look pretty steady. But even like 1-to-2, so one particle on, two off, the flicker will be only just noticeable. So it allows us to go up to quite a large number of particles, and the dynamic scaling will handle whether or not they need to flicker to maintain the frame rate or not. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I don't know why, but I've lost all joystick control on joystick 2 for some reason. Yeah, it should be on for some reason. But for some reason it's no longer working on that joystick. Like that one's working, but this one isn't working for some reason. Allow key set joysticks. Joysticks. It's fine if I swap it over. But I seem to have done something to break. Oh, there we go. It's because I had caps lock on. So if I pull in that direction and turn caps lock on, that's the problem I had. So caps lock is acting like a lock. So if I pull up like that and then caps lock, because it's never seen me release that. It's only that's a really weird bug in Vice. It's only seen me release. Oh, was it on 200 CPU? I thought that was running really quickly. That's better. I just want to slow it down because I want to make sure that those bullets are actually being hitting every... Oh no, they are. That's fine. Okay. Oh, okay. Commodore 18 lost 10k. Yeah, I have no idea. I'll have to... 5k on 2 and 3 and 2 and 1, but I didn't get paid. I will investigate. Let me add some points to you there. When I'm presented with evidence like that, I can't do anything but refund. So I'm going to give you 10,000. There you go. I think that's how many you lost, roughly, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. I don't know why that happened. If you do ever have something like that, if you can just give me send me a link like Speccoms has just done, I will return it. So that's what Skybet would do. Yeah. No, when I'm presented with evidence like that, I can't not do it. And I know it's fake points and it really doesn't matter, but okay, cool. Right, what's next? That's pretty decent, to be honest. I'm going to turn those border flashes on because they're driving me mad. I'm going to keep them in place like that. Right, what was I doing? Game loop. You know, it's erased does occasionally not pay it. So I did put some checks in that. So it's because Streamlabs have an API for the shillings, well, whatever currency you decide to call it. And they do have an API that can sometimes not return. So I did put some protection in against that. So I might need to double check that protection at some point. Because it shouldn't be. It should basically keep retrying a few times. Okay. Let's see. We've got the bullets in there. Oh, I want to stop them from. Okay, so as Andy said, when I go through the scenery and shoot, then it removes. Oh, it doesn't actually there. Oh, yeah, there you go. So I need to prevent it from doing that. It shouldn't be doing that. Not that you'll be able to get that close to the scenery anyway, but it definitely shouldn't be removing. I mean, how close can I get before? Okay, so you would probably stop here anyway. But it wouldn't be difficult to prevent that from happening, so let's do that. So that's going to be quite simple. That's going to be in our draw routine. In here, basically. Let's just check. So in our main game loop, what do? We clear the bullets, update the bullets, draw the bullets, and the player control happens here. So when we shoot, we'd be adding a bullet at this point here, which means the bullets would get cleared at that point. So it's the clear bullets that we're interested in here, or in the add bullets, basically. Yeah, add bullets. Add bullets is going to be where to do it. Okay. Store index for return. Okay, so we will store the index, but what we're immediately going to do before we store that and return is we're going to check if we actually need to clear this value or not. So when we store these values here, the screen SB, I'm also going to put a screen self mod here. Screen sm+1, screen sm+2, and then we can do the check here. So so if the value is 0, that means we can draw at this point. So we'll skip to here. And then we'll compare that value to 256 minus particle char count minus 3 chars before particles. And if that value is equal to or more than that, then we'll also go to that. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to immediately reset this value here. So, and I'll put a little note in here to say cannot spawn bullet in scenery. So that should prevent that from happening now. Oh. Thanks for the follow me, Dolph. Welcome to the stream, dude. Yeah, there we go. It's not eating away at the scenery now. So the other thing we need to do is we need to work out which character to show. So we'll do that now as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the dual shoot bullets because the single shoot is not going to really do anything. But so the way I'm going to do this is these three characters are going to be our bullets, and depending on which weapon you get, these are going to be filled in from memory somewhere. So we're not wasting characters in the character set. So we're just going to fill these in from memory. Actually, it'll be 4. So I believe the bullets are something like this. So I'm going to make them double size. It might be that they're just individual pixels. I need to check, but I think they might be. But I'm going to do double size for now. And we're going to create all the variants of this. So we've got left and right, up and down, and then on an angle as well. So no, it's going to be like that, isn't it? Export character set level charts. There we go. Okay, so we need to work out based on the direction now which of these characters we need to show. So this is where we can use let's have a look. We will store this in, well, might as well store it in here. Okay, so we'll have char in here. And now it could be that this is just type, I'm not sure, but for now we'll just call it char because this is the thing we're actually going to draw. The less we convert a value from this array into something that we're going to use, then the quicker it's going to be. So we're just going to store the char value in here, and then when we add the bullet in here, we'll work it out based on the direction. So we have DRX and DRY. We're not going to do it in the add bullet. We're just going to have another one here, which is going to be set bullet char, we'll call it. Now, set bullet char, we're going to have to call directly after we add a bullet. So here's where we add the bullet, externally index. Oh my God. And then at this point, we can do set bullet char. So we add a bullet, then we get returned its index, the index into the array. Then we use that to set the direction. And then once we've set the direction, we can set the bullet char as well. Okay, so set bullet char, RTS at the end. Okay, so to set the bullet char, we're going to need to do something similar. We're going to need to get the directions. So the DIRX and DIRY, which is going to give us these values here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 0, 1, or 2. Okay, so I can use 4 bits to store this. So what I'm going to do is oh my God, have I got my caps lock still on? Will it? Does caps lock show? It does. it shows as on when it's off. So my Nova board or whatever it is wrong. So it's showing my caps lock as on, but it's not when it's off. So the bullet chars, this is going to be actually, let's put some notes in here. So bullet screen directional offsets. This is going to be bullet chars. He pressed it in Vice. Oh yeah, maybe if I press it in here. I don't know, it's weird. It shows on Noah board as on, but it's really not on. I think I've done something weird and caused it to show on when it's not. But that's off now. That's definitely off. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Actually, I wonder if I just close Noah board and reopen it. Hang on. Oh, there you go. It's fixed itself. Just opening. Yeah, there you go. It's working now. Yeah. Okay. Strange. So bullet charts. So we're going to use bits 0 to 1 equals X. Bits 2 to 3 equals Y. And we're going to use this to work out which chars we need. So this is going to be an array of 16 characters again. So this is going to work a lot like the joystick thing, but we're going to use the values in here. So so the values we've got are where's my characters gone? There we go. So 224 is left and right. So if we're not shooting, then 0. So left is 1. So this is bits 0 to 1 are going to be left and right. So these so these values up until 3 are all going to be this. Okay, so this is left and right only. Okay, then these ones are going to be with bit 2 set here. So this is up. So up and nothing else is going to be the next one. So that is 225. Then 5 is going to be up and left. Hang on, is this going to work? 0, 1, 2. Yeah. No, this isn't going to work like this, is it? Because this is, I'm using these directions from in here, so this is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so 224 left and right only. Okay, so if the value is 5, then that means we are pushing. Oh my god, this is 4. Okay, so 4 would be up. Oh my god, I need to think about this. Hang on. Four and 0 would be up and to the left, actually. So okay, so that would be this one here, 227. Okay, so 5 would be up and nothing else. So that would be 225. 6 would be hang on. 0, 1, 2. So 6. So hang on. 4 would be 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Hang on, let me put this in 0, 1, 2. And then this would be 0, 4, 8. Okay. So 4 is up and to the left. Okay, so that's correct. So that means 5 is. Oh no, that's not right at all. Fuck. Okay. 0 is up and to the left. 1 is up and up on its own. 2 is up and to the right. Okay, so God, this is confusing. 226. Okay, which means 3 is impossible because that's both left and nothing. So that's 0. Okay. Yeah, it's a good way of measuring your lag, that's for sure. Okay, so okay, 4. So 4 is no vertical, but to the left. So that is 2 to 4. Okay, which means 5 is no vertical and no horizontal. So that's 0. 6 in that case would be no vertical and to the right. So that's also 2 to 4. 7, in which case is also impossible. Okay. 8 is impossible. No. Is it impossible? No, it's down and to the left. So down and to the left would be 226. 9 would be down on its own. It's 225, I believe. Yes. There's a reason for this. There's a reason for this, I promise you. And I'm going for a break after this. This is far too much calculation in my head. Is so 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 10 is down and to the right. So down and to the right would be this one, 227. And 11 would be impossible because that would be not doing anything and to the right and down. So 12. 12 is impossible because it's down and nothing, which means all of these are impossible. Because they would all be involving these two at the same time, which is not possible. Okay, I think that's right. We'll find out in a minute, I'm sure. Okay, so we can spawn a bullet, so we're going to spawn the bullet here. We're not doing it in there, we're doing it in here. Okay, so X is still set. So we are assuming when we go into this function, the X has not changed, and we should definitely leave it that way as well. So this is, we might even turn this into a macro somewhere so we can simplify this or something. Actually, it's probably fine. It's only going to be in one place. Okay. I'm going to load the Y though. And what I'm going to do is I'm then going to, actually, I'm going to load Y, X. I'm going to load bullet. No, hang on. Load the accumulator. Shift it 2 places to the left. And then I'm going to OR that with the value in data direction X. So this now it's going to give us a 4-bit value, which I can then transfer to Y. And I can load bullet chars, comma, Y, and store that at data.char, comma, X. Okay, so now I can use this instead of E0. So I'm using E0 here. Instead, I can do this. And hopefully now this works and I can go for a cigarette. I mean, I'm going for a cigarette anyway, even if it's broken. I have a funny feeling it's going to be broken, but oh no, it's completely wrong. Okay. Oh, I know why. It's because actually I need to do something a little bit more than just that. Okay. So I need to. Where's set bullet chart? I need to. I'm going to load this into Y. I'm going to increase Y. Transfer Y to the accumulator. Okay. In fact, I'm going to store Y at G temp. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Increase Y. It's because I wasn't adding one, so the value should be 0, 1, 2, not There we go. It worked. Cool. Fucking hell, that's a surprise. Right, I noticed that it is too big. That bullet needs to be a bit small. Also, the fire rate is too high. I think fire rate needs to be reduced a bit. So let's reduce the size of the particle down a little bit. Let's half the fire rate. Let's go and change this in here. So I think this probably needs to be like so. I'm going to do it apart like that. It's difficult with a single pixel to center it, so I'm maybe like that. There we go. Okay, let's work this out with maths. Okay, so the distance here, this hypotenuse here, is the square root of 8. So the square root of 8 is just under wait, squared, 2 squared plus 2 squared, square root of 8. So this is just under 3. So this is like 2.8 something. The distance between these. And yet they're 4 apart here, so they're definitely going to seem closer together in this one. So let's pull them apart. Let's do it like that. So that's going to be 3, 3. So the square root of 18, the square root of 18 is just over 4. So I think that's probably about right. So let's go with that. Good night, Zappy. Thanks for joining the stream, and we'll chat about Kickstarter at some point. So thanks for the bits, Meadoff. Appreciated, dude. All goes towards the wine, although I've run out of wine tonight, so should have planned ahead a bit more. That looks a lot more like the game now. Yes, that looks spot on, actually. So the question is, how many bullets do I need? I don't think I need as many as I've got on the screen at the moment. So let me... I'm getting about 4 bullets across the screen, but I think I can safely reduce the number of bullets to 0.8, which is going to half the amount of time it needs to spend looking through the bullet list. So, all right, I'm going to go for a smoke in a minute. Just want to check this now, make sure it's all good. Two joysticks. I wonder if one 2-button joystick would work. So yeah, I mean, I intend on including 2-button support, and the way it's going to work is the second button will act as like a strafe lock, if you like. So when you hold down the second button, whichever direction you were shooting in at that moment, that's the direction you will continue to shoot in. So you will still be able to use it with one joystick with 2 buttons. So you basically shoot in the direction you want to shoot in, lock it, and then you can move around independently then without losing the direction. Yeah, this is feeling pretty good. It's looking pretty sweet, actually. Quite pleased with that. So I do need to check into what other weapons there are available for this. But this is looking pretty good. The only thing that's missing that I do want to add is the little particle explosions that happen when the bullets hit the edge here. Now I'm not going to use particles for this. I'm going to actually cheat. What I'm going to do is in this block here, I'm going to create some 2 or 3 frame animations, probably 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, probably 3 frame animations, which are just going to be depending on which direction you're shooting. So if you shoot in that direction and you hit an edge, it's going to show 1 animation. So there's just going to be 4 animations depending on which direction the bullets are coming from, and it's just going to be a very, very short sprite, a character kind of animation, basically, which is just going to appear on here and then be removed. So we might do that. Might do that in a minute, actually. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go use the bathroom and go for a quick break, and then I'll have a think about it. But yeah, this is looking pretty good now. Collision needs to go in, and the funky screen loading needs to go in. But other than that, it's looking pretty sweet. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Be right back. I'm back. I look really bright on that screen for some reason. I look like I'm glowing. I thought what I actually want to do is put the hooding up here because it will just kind of complete the look. So I haven't actually got the characters for this, so I'm just gonna well, just make some basically. So I'm gonna get some screenshots of Cecconoid and see if I can find a nice high-res screenshot that I can copy from. It looks like it might be. No, give me a screenshot. God damn it! Oh, Bob streams to the win. Oh, I look at the list of emotes and I can't even see mine in it. Where are mine? Oh, that's good. I was going to put Bob in, but I can't find it. Okay, that's a bad screenshot. It's not going to work. That'll do. Oh, that's on Steam. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is pretty good. So I can see the particles that make up the numbers here. I don't have all the numbers though. I only have 0, 1, and 3. But let's put the first ones in. So the numbers appear to be 5 by 5 pixels. So let's just create some parts. Let's stick them in the top half. Like so. Are they spaced? Now, one thing is they're spaced 1 pixel apart. That is not going to be possible. Because they're going to look like this. So I might have to increase the size a little bit because that's what they look like at the moment. Let me try and get this lined up. So might have to increase the size a little bit. or just accept that they're going to be spaced a little bit oddly. So it's an interesting point, actually. I've not thought about that. The other solution, of course, is to just use a block of characters for the score. So instead of, you have them like this, and then we just draw into these characters as we need, then it would match. But I'm not sure that's going to give us. It's not going to add an awful lot, and it's going to take some raster time to deal with. So it is going to look more accurate, though. That's the thing. I think we can probably get away with not doing that. So I'm just gonna go down this method for now. And we'll try and make these numbers as close as we can. I think yeah, let's do the cheat way. And if we've got enough raster time to do it, then we might use that method towards the end. Lol to anyone with jail bars and bad grammar, yeah. But then again, this is kind of the aim. I mean, the other option, of course, is we just make them bigger. We just go for 7x7 instead, which is no, it's still not going to look great, is it? That's the problem. No, I think we'll go down this route first, and if it looks bad, then we'll reconsider it. But I just want to get something in the HUD, so I'm going to pull up a couple of screenshots so I can get the different numbers. So that's one. Let's see if I can find one with the number 2 on it. Okay, that has the number 2 on it. Oh wow, that's super tiny. Oh, that's kind of pointless. My God. Seems to be how that 2 is done. Yeah. That's how the 3 is done. I don't think it'll look too bad like this. I think it's probably going to be all right. But yeah, I think we might have to think about the font. I think it's probably going to be beneficial to have a font that's close to it but doesn't have the spacing issues that this is going to have. So I'm just gonna go as close as I can to what I can see on the screen. We've got 7 on there. No, there's only 7 on there. Got one screenshot with the number 7 on it. Surely there's got to be one. No. Yeah. Let's try the video instead. There we go. Oh. And that is like so. Okay, so that is. That doesn't seem right. Oh, it's less on that side. Okay, that's apparently the number 7. And then 8 is just the whole thing filled in. And 9, I saw 9 somewhere. I didn't see it in there though, did I? Okay. Okay, 9 is so, and then I just need the letters as well. So X. Yeah, this is going to look really bad on anybody who's got a really kind of crappy system in terms of, like, say, jail bars. This is going to be painful. What I am going to do though with these ones is I'm going to shift them over and put the two things like that, or like that actually, and then I'm going to shift all these numbers over by one. There we go. So X and W is 1 as well. So 3, 4, 5. What's the other one? L. Okay. What is W for? I'm not sure actually. I don't know what they mean at the moment, so I guess we'll have to figure that out at some point. Weapon, maybe? Weapon strength? Not sure. Good question. And U for spelling column. No, we don't need you. We don't need you. Okay, let me save this. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, just for the purposes of testing, I'm going to turn off the tile set. And then I'm going to draw, I'm going to set this to width 40, height 1. And then we're going to set the screen stuff in here. It's still on 400, that's why. There we go. Okay, so X appears to be in a little bit from the... Oh, why is it? I lost my characters for some reason. That was weird. Tile set. No. Ah, okay, that breaks that. Okay. Okay. Oh, really? Am I going to have to add all these into a tile? Tell you what I can do. There we go. Oh my god, just accept that value, will you, goddamn you? So he can't. He really can't, can he? His gyroscope is one of the most overpowered special abilities in any game ever, and yet he can't use it to win a race, goddamn him. Okay, right, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put 1 next to it, like so. Then I'm going to leave about 4 spaces and put W in here. Also going to put that on 1. And then over this side, I'm going to put the L. And then the score sits in the middle. So I don't know where the middle is here, actually. And how many digits is it? 12 digits. All right, so... 6, 10, 12. There we go. So I'm just going to put this as a temporary in here. I just want to see it in the game. I want to see how it looks. So I'm going to export the HUD. export the character set, but I'm not going to export anything else. So I'm going to revert back to the old one, just so I don't accidentally save it. There we go. Right. Okay, so let's make a HUD file. Let's put it in. Let's just put it in the game for now. I say I'm going to sort all these files out at some point, but for now they can just sit in here. I'm going to call it HUD.xm. Really? HUD already exists. Oh, because I called it HUD in here. No. Yeah, I called it HUD in there. Okay, HUD. I'm just going to put an init in here, and we'll load the HUD data. So this is in game, so I need to go back, assets, game, HUD.bin. And then in the init, it's going to be really simple. I'm going to start at 27, and I'm going to decrease until there, RTS. And then we're just going to load HUD data, X, and install that at screen, RAM, X. Oh, we already had HUD in it. Oh, I already had it. I wasn't doing anything to it. Okay. Well, now it's doing something. So I'd already made that file. There you go. So the numbers do look a little bit weird, but not terrible. It would be better if they were closer together, obviously. I'm actually going to change it so there's an actual number on here as well. So I'll do it. It's just easier to edit it in here. So here's our numbers here. So I'm just going to set a number in here, like. And then I think I'm going to call it a night there. Yeah, that's all right, actually. Kind of, I'm not that disappointed with that. The spacing does look a little bit odd, but it's kind of all right. The main thing is we've got the shooting here, which is really cool. So I think on the next stream, we'll take a look at the screen loader. So what I want to do on the next stream is start thinking about, at the moment the map is just drawn using a basic map loader, but I want to start thinking about it in terms of switching between the screens. So we'll try and get the screen switch algorithm in. Thanks for the follow, Pythloid. I appreciate it, dude. So we'll try and get the screen switch algorithm in, which is probably going to take 1 or 2 streams, I think. I don't think it's going to be done in just one. I think it might be 2 streams, because I need to think of a way to update the character set on the fly. And I have some ideas on how to do this, but how easy it's going to be, I'm not sure. So Let's Maker, and it's giving you Demo Maker Deluxe 2. Trying to think if there's anything else I can squeeze in. No, I think this is pretty good. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I know I've only just had one, but I'm gonna have another quick break. And then when I come back, I'm gonna change the stream over and do some satisfactory playthroughs. I say playthrough. I'm just gonna play. I'm sure it's going to be not very interesting for most people, but for those who are just looking for some stream to follow for a bit, then feel free. And don't laugh at my fact here. I've only been playing it a week, so it's not going to be great for those who have played lots of it. And I've just spotted a screen which scares me. So look at this screen. There's a lot of red going on there, and even some pink in the middle. I mean, that's fine. I've got red and I've got pink, so that's good. The two colours I have. But there's a lot of shit going on there, so that's gonna be fun. Cosmin has exactly 10,000 shimmer shillings. Wow. Yeah, anyway, right, I'll take a quick break now then. Then when I come back, I'll change the stream title over and we'll play some Saturday. Thanks if you come along for the coding. I'm gonna stick around for the gameplay. I think we're looking pretty good. Progress is moving quite quickly on this. I'm quite pleased. And considering we've only had 3 to 4 hour streams. What are they? 3.5 to 4 hours. So we've only done 10 hours. 10 to 12 hours on this, and already we've got quite a lot of the kind of heavy systems in place, so that's pretty good. All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. Right back.